the season, see the ball go far, and really come back 2 weeks later and make the ball go far and make it count.
And you know we're preparing something special for you at Millrose by virtue of having the shot put just up here.
Oh, absolutely. You can't beat that. Front and center. You know, some events may not like that spotlight, to feel the extra pressure. For a shot putter, we love it. Bring everybody down, get the cheers going, and at the end of the day, whoever's yelling the loudest, which I promise will be me, is probably throwing the farthest. So if you don't know anything about the shot put, that's a good trick to know.
So whilst you hadn't been to the Armour before, my understanding is that you're no stranger to New York. If my sources are correct, you were married in November, but you proposed in Central Park. Is that right?
I did. Last February 14th, I proposed on the Gapstow Bridge in Central Park to my wife now, she's a coach at Ohio State. So she's going to be here coaching her kids in a couple hours. So I'm going to make sure we take a walk in the park and get on that bridge at least once or twice while we're here.
So is this the secret to a happy marriage? She's in Ohio and you're in Pennsylvania. How does that work?
The secret to a happy marriage is her cooking. I'll tell you that. Every morning, breakfast, you start the day off like that, life's easy, life's good.
So when I get up in the morning, I have 2 cups of tea and then I'm ready to rock and roll. But I imagine your breakfast takes on a different form.
It's definitely different than 2 cups of tea, I'll tell you that.
Come on, spill the beans or the eggs.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. So
we did.
A dozen eggs is probably a normal morning for a shot putter. So though here in New York City, when you add an extra egg to an omelet, it comes with a hefty price tag. So I'm feeling that on this trip. But no, for a shot putter, you got to be big, you got to be strong, and that's what it's all about.
So I was mentioning this to my colleagues in the office here. We have an office with lots of secretarial and executive assistants. And one of them, Sabrina Perez, said, yeah, but how does he like his eggs? Does he like them poached, scrambled, boiled, or over easy?
This is probably the part that nobody really likes to hear, but if you eat like 12 hard-boiled eggs, that's tough. You gotta go scrambled, you just gotta get them down. That's the goal. You know, you just gotta get them down, get away. Now, whether I like it or not, that's a different question. But
never argue with your wife,
never argue. Whatever comes on the plate, it always ends up being empty on the way back.
So, do you have anything with the eggs? Bacon or sausage?
Yeah,
no?
But it's the cook's choice on that one, the cook's choice. But there's always something. Bacon, eggs, some kind of toast, avocado. If anybody follows my Instagram, you'll see breakfast pics every morning. And that's not just to get Instagram followers. It literally looks like a cooking show. So I attribute that to my wife.
This is good. This is really good. I like this. What about dinner?
Oh, and that's the real meal. And
the real meal, God help us.
Yeah, to be honest, it all depends how the training's going. You know, after a heavy squat, heavy bench, you gotta go I eat some, like at least a pound of red meat, by a steak. But I always try to throw in some salmon and fish and get some good fats in there too. But a shot putter's job doesn't end, just like any other athlete, doesn't end when you leave the track. You gotta keep on nutrition, you gotta keep the calories coming in. You know, I always would joke about, you know, these guys running, looking great with their shirts off, running around the track. That's not a shot putter's job. A shot putter's job is to make a lot of noise and make the ball go far. So,
tell me about a typical day, Joe, because obviously you're in the weight room and you're throwing. In your preparation stage, what do you actually do to get ready?
I throw about 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now that depends a lot on the travel schedule, but generally it's about 3 times a week. I lift 5 days a week. So the lifting is one of those constants that's always going to be there. But, you know, on the other 2 days, the Tuesday, Thursday, I either do gymnastics, which I do go on the high bar and do some giants, and that bar does bend quite a bit. So it is a little scary for somebody who hasn't seen it before. But just try to stay some general athleticism, running on the track. In the fall, I do 200s. So
what can you run at 200 in?
I try to pace them. I generally do it after I get done squatting. So if I'm in the 32 range for 5x2, I'm pretty happy about that.
5x2, I like this.
Yeah, pretty happy about that. But
Craig would be happy to do that.
I learned what pacing was.
Squats.
Well, I learned what pacing was real quick. The first time my coach had me do it, I played college football for 2 years too. So I had that mentality of, it's not a big deal, I'm going to go out there. So I went full speed on the first one. Like anybody who doesn't know what pacing is, I went full speed on the second one, and by the third and fourth one, I stopped moving. And on the fifth one, my coach was on the phone with the coach who's at UCLA now, and he got out, I would say at least 3 or 4 paragraphs of insult and I realized I still had about 80 meters to go. So I learned real quick how to pace myself and not let that happen again.
So you and Ryan Krause are going to meet up at Millrose. Do you trash talk to each other, or are you just nice guys?
No, I think they trash talk when they know they're ready. So right now everybody's nice guys, but I assume I see Ryan's training really well. He knows where he's at. I'll know where I'm at tomorrow after this meet. But it tends to be once you kind of feel that groove and you know where you're at, that's when everybody starts trash talking. For the most part, the shot putters get along really well. Some would say probably too well, because it's a sport that you got to respect. If somebody beats you, it's because they beat you in the ring. You know, they put the work in, they got you that day. So I would say for shot put, and then we definitely all get along probably more like a brotherhood than anything.
And you're not that tall, and no disrespect, you're my height.
I keep eating those eggs. I'm trying to get that growth spurt.
What are you, 5'10", 5'11"?
5'11".
5'11".
I say I'm 6 foot, so if anybody's recording this, let's say 6. It sounds better.
But Krause is a taller guy, right?
He is.
So what do you, how do you beat a guy like that who's got that so much extra weight advantage?
You can't beat speed.
Height. Well,
you can't beat speed, and you guys know this from the track. And for what we do, we're essentially launching a cannonball, right? It's a projectile no matter what. So when the ball has speed, it's going to go. So I rely, if you watch my throw compared to Ryan's, his looks a little bit prettier and more relaxed because he has the leverage to get that speed. I'm a little bit more like the Tasmanian devil going full speed, and that's why I get a couple more fouls than he does. But at the same time, it's all about the velocity.
That's interesting. So we're going to come back and I'll invite you to ask questions.